Hamza takes the bait and goes off on an anime profile picture again. Clicked on this video, you know who Hamza is. A very prominent figure in manosphere, men development community, which seems like a very genuine guy, really cares, very passionate about men becoming men again and, developing and becoming better versions of themselves. Don't really follow him, but I've seen a few of his clips. I think I've seen him on a podcast, maybe too, but seems like a good guy. Seen a little bit of this. As an anime watcher myself, so going to react from an anime nerd perspective, see how it goes.
Hamza, let me fucking go on a rant here. Hang on, let me just make my video full screen. I don't know how you do that, bro. So I just went on a little rant then, talking about, porn being bad for us and stuff. And this anime profile picture motherfucker just came into the chat and said, "Forgive us for having fun, Hamza." I'm gonna repeat that again. I just went on a little rant saying that porn is...
Doesn't seem very happy about a person having an anime profile picture. This is interesting.
Is bad for you, that video game, that porn and masturbation is bad for you, and this anime profile picture motherfucker just came in and said, "Forgive us for having fun, Hamza." You cannot make this shit up, bro. You cannot make this shit up. Anime profile picture motherfuckers, bro. Forgive us for having fun. Holy shit, man. That's got to be like a fake profile picture. It's got to be someone like fooling us, just sat there like, "Oh, I'm gonna troll Hamza." It's got to be. No one is like that, bro. It's got to be someone who's just trolling me. It's got to be. Like, he's pretending he's doing it now, so he just replied saying, "Got him, yeah."
Okay, I think I know what's happening. Since he seems very passionate, right, about this topic, and I think he's associating a person having an anime profile picture, meaning you're distracted, you're not working hard enough. So, and that seems like that's why he's going off, but I'm gonna watch it. I think I've seen maybe a couple of minutes of this, but this is the gist of it that I'm getting so far. But let's get into it.
He's pretending now, isn't he? He's just kind of like, he said it thinking that he's being serious, like, "Oh yeah, well, Hamza doesn't want us to have fun." And as soon as I called him out, he's just said like, "Oh well, I got him." And Aravind as well. Like, they're pretending to troll, but I genuinely think they are how they seem. I genuinely think they genuinely like think to themselves, "Yeah, well, it's fun, and like a little bit of porn and masturbation wouldn't affect me." And then when they get called out for it, these are the kind of guys who, when they get...
Okay, he's again associating anime profile with porn and masturbation. I mean, correlation, causation, I don't know about that. Maybe, I mean, like, everybody watches porn, so just because you watch anime does not mean you watch a lot of porn. Alright, I'm just saying. But who knows?
Called out, they're like, "Oh well, it's just a joke." Fucking no frame, no confidence, disgusting beliefs and personality. Holy fuck. I know this sounds horrible, but I never want to meet one of you guys, like one of you fucking anime profile pictures, Aravind and stuff. Imagine like meeting a guy like this, going to shake his hand and he's got fucking cum on his hands. Imagine that, bro. Imagine that. These guys who are saying, "Oh, but porn and masturbation's normal and it's kind of fun." Imagine like saying, "Oh, what's up, bro?" Go give him one of these. That's like, bro.
Okay, it is kind of funny. That's kind of funny, and again, he's generalizing, but I can kind of see where he's coming from. Maybe he's just going off on on a general person that sits at his computer all day, probably bigger size, and does not want to work on himself. And this is his like nightmare scenario for a man to be. Maybe I don't. That's kind of funny, but I disagree. Okay. I'll go on it later, but let's continue watching.
If you go to fucking... Fuck me, bro. If you go to ever shake a fucking anime profile picture guy's hand, and then you just look at your hand afterwards, it's like, what's all this, like, yogurty? What this... Oh. Never, bro, if you know that a guy watches anime, never shake his hand, bro. Oh my god, imagine, I'd get pissed off, bro. Fucking anime guys, bro.
If a guy watches his anime, or watches anime, don't shake his hand. It's an interesting quote, man. Interesting quote.
And they'll be sat here like, "Oh, but anime's actually good. Yeah, like, anime's actually fun." Like, holy fuck, man. But Hamza, you don't watch anime, Hamza? Do I look like I watch anime? Fuck me, man. What happened to men? Honestly.
Alrighty, really quick. So I've lived 2 years in Japan, and I've seen firsthand the Japanese culture and how hard those people work, and I understand people that produce anime, people that write manga or draw manga, They're very passionate about what they do, but they're also very smart. People underestimate how smart and how intelligent our writers are in general. uh, Modern day leaders, like Elon and all of them, like I don't know, but you, I guarantee you go watch all their clips on YouTube. They say I read, I read, I read. Manga and anime is just a different way of capturing that written information. It just happens to be in a fiction format, but it does not mean it does not have the necessary lessons for you to develop. Maybe get your own ideas. I've known countless people that got into the gym because of anime. That's a really good positive change, right? So just because you watch anime, in my opinion, does not mean you're a loser, but everything has to be in moderation. A balance is a must be in place.
Honestly, you're an adult watching cartoons. You're an adult watching cartoons. It's the same as video games.
That's not a misconception about anime. It's cartoons. I've seen some of the most gruesome crap that I've seen was in an anime, more gruesome than some of the TV and movies. So again, a lot of adult themes. It just depends on what you watch. Adult themes, hentai. Oh my god.
Games. Do you know if you're a 10-year-old boy, a 15-year-old boy, even 16, 17-year-old boy, okay, cartoons and video games, you're a bit of a loser, you're not one of like the cool kids in school and stuff, okay, fine, we've all been there. But when you're older than 18 and you're still watching cartoons,
Krusty Kumar. The chat is funny.
fucking anime, fucking Rick and Morty, and you're still playing video games, and you're watching this video right now, motherfuckers, like, this video will be clipped and posted onto YouTube, and people will, as always, oh, Hamza's being too serious. Well, what's wrong with video games? I disagree with Hamza's opinion on video games. I'm like, bro, you're an adult, aren't you? You're a man, aren't you? Aren't you like 20 years old, 18?
All right, I would rather a man watch anime as a distraction, as an escape, not too much, instead of taking drugs such as marijuana or cocaine or other. Because at the end of the day, I think everybody needs some sort of escape. That's how I got into anime. I did not have a lot of friends, and I needed some sort of escape when I first moved to America. It was a culture shock for me. Again, I think that's a healthier habit than a lot of more distracting ones.
18 years old, 22 years old, and you're watching cartoons. You're not successful. You haven't built the body that you want. You haven't achieved your goals. You have no accountability to your actions. You haven't retired your family, and you're talking about just being sat there with some like fucking potato crisp or some shit. Oh well, anime. If you've never tried anime, you can't have an opinion on anime. Shut up. You've got an anime profile picture, and motherfuckers telling me, well, if you've never tried anime, you can't have an opinion on it. They literally talk like drug addicts. Well, you've never even tried it. Why don't you just try it once? Bro? Here, take the joint. Take the fucking anime. Like, how many of my boys watch anime? Oh my god. What is...
Okay, again, I'm disagreeing with him, but it seems he accomplished a lot, so very respectable guy. Compared to him, I'm a nobody. I have not made any headway in science community, or because that's where I'm going, mathematics and science. That's what I'm studying right now. But I'm a nobody so far. I don't have enough experience. I'm not old enough. But this guy, he amounted a huge audience. Obviously, he's doing something right. Very intelligent. Seems like a strong individual, right? So, but again, I think this is one of the takes he should probably reconsider. I'm going to take a look at the comments really quick. For a man who preaches and emphasizes being able to control your emotions, you seem to be quite triggered by enemy profile. No hate, just honest criticism. That's already, that's first comment, and seems like his community holds him a little bit of accountable. But again, this is his opinion. Can't really say much about it. I can't really base his character off of his opinion, another thing that's happening a lot lately nowadays. Everybody bases everybody else's character based on what they say rather than the actions that they do. You could be donating to charity, running some sort of orphanage, but you could say something stupid or make a stupid joke, and automatically people will call you, I don't know, like misogynist or whatever.
I know this is a take that's seen as like an L take, and everyone's like, oh well, Hamza's so wrong with this. He's being mean, and fuck me, man. W or L for anime, boys. I think anime and video games is essentially the same thing. It's just grown-ups who haven't gotten out of like the childhood indulgence complacent state. The thing is, right, I'm just a guy on the internet, and you can do whatever you want, but you just need to realize that your actions have consequences. And when you're sat there lonely as fuck, when you're sat there broke, And you're like, oh, but W anime, and you're literally sat there and you've got less than £5,000 in your bank account. There's a reason why. It's simple. It's literally as simple as that. There is a reason why you've always heard of that like stereotypical common story of a young man who's addicted to things like anime, porn, and video games, gives them up, and then makes the most progress of his entire life. There's a reason why you see that exact same story all of the time. And all these guys saying W anime wonder why they're broke. They wonder why girls are so
That's a
shallow.
good
Girls
point.
only want guys who are rich. Girls only. Do you not piece it together? Can you not see the link? And oh, bro, the amount of guys who say, oh, but Hamza doesn't have any fun. I promise you right now, if people observed in third person, imagine like everyone was a ghost, and in third person they observed my life or the life of a guy who plays video games and watches anime, every single person, 100 out of 100 people, would literally think that I'm having more fun than these guys who say like, oh, well, Hamza's not having any fun. Hamza's not having any fun because he doesn't watch anime or he doesn't play video games. This is literally the mentality of so many men, like the men who are your friends, the men who are around you. Their mentality is that if you don't play video games and you don't watch anime, that you aren't having fun in your life. They don't even realize that you can have fun in the normal real world without a fucking screen in front of you. They literally don't even realize. To them, if you aren't like watching some shit.
Okay, seems like he's making some really good points. Yeah, if you're overdoing it, if you're playing a lot of video games, anime, you should probably get off your ass and get some shit done. I understand where he's coming from. A good example of a person turning their life around is in bodybuilding community is Ziz. To this day, he passed away, but his legacy lives on because he was this nerdy kid that played a lot of World of Warcraft or whatever, and then he turned around, quit it, went to the gym. Yeah, granted, he took some drugs to achieve his physique, but still accomplished a lot. And in a sense, he's not dead because people still talk about him.
And if you're not playing some shit, to them, they think that, well, then you're not having any fun at all. Hamza doesn't play video games and he doesn't watch anything apart from educational content, so he must not be having fun. Oh, well, I just want to forgive me for having a little bit of fun, Hamza. How can you think that's so... Oh, man. These guys literally think you're, like, living a boring life if you don't do the same, like, little fucking screen watching, content consuming, video game playing activities that they do. Think about that.
I would say video games is more of an evil than an anime myself, because I've been addicted to video games before and it influenced me. Like, it influenced my bank account in the sense that I sat down to play 2-3 hours of video game versus I could have earned $60 to $100. And I know it's not a lot, you know, but like I could have earned that money really easily at that time.
That they literally are convinced that you have a boring life if you don't play video games. Why do you think that is? Why do you think these anime profile motherfuckers, these anime profile pictures, why do you think they think this? Because they don't do anything else with their lives. So isn't that inherently just show us what kind of life they're living because they play video games and they watch anime? Like, oh, but Hamza, you're missing out. Oh. Yeah, this guy, this is a W take right here. Stanley. The ironic thing is that the people saying why can't we have fun are actually not having fun. Living a life of indulgence is not fun. The fun starts when you get into self-improvement. That's 100% true. And all these little kids, they won't.
I understand where he's coming from. Self-improvement can be seen as a real-life video game. You know, you level yourself up, you get your stats, you become stronger, better looking, whatever. But again, that like being passionate about something does not necessarily mean you are overindulging in it.
They won't believe that. They won't believe that, and they'll cringe to that statement. The fun starts when you get onto self-improvement. The fun starts when you actually start living a healthy, normal life where you can enjoy the real world instead of just a fucking screen in front of you. What happened to men, honestly? It's weird, you know, like I can ask a question like that, like, oh, what happened to men? I'm 25 years old. I've never actually experienced a time when
technology happened, man. Technology. We are, you know, very how do you say it, our brains just want to process the least amount of information and just do our own thing.
Men have been strong, but it's so weird that it's almost like I relate more to strong men of history that I've never even met before than I do to my generation of men right now. And every now and then there's like a shine.
Back then, you did not have internet, so distractions were very limited. So of course, you're going to indulge in very productive practices. I'll give you an example. When I was in the military and I was deployed, I could not play video games because the internet connection was crappy. So what I did, I read, I worked on myself, I worked out, I socialized with people, and I read more, and I developed better speech patterns and blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. But anyways, because I did not have those distractions, I couldn't do anything else.
Shining light. Like I'm next to my gym right now. I'm about to go do a workout in about half an hour, and the amount of kids in there. I don't even mean to say kids is in a disrespectful way, because I wouldn't even consider them like boys or children or anything. They're all 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, and they're disciplined. Like this city that I'm in right now, it's called Inverness in Scotland. Inverness, that's where I am right now. I'm going to be here for maybe another week or so I'll do some like meetups and stuff. But there's this one gym that I go to here, and literally there's such a weird culture of 16-year-olds who are literally waiting half an hour, 1 hour after school. They take the bus after school after waiting for 45 minutes. They take the bus here, and literally, I don't know if this is normal for you guys. Let me know, is this just weird for me or for you guys? You go into a gym and there's literally 20, 30 school kids there. I've never seen that before in my entire life. You go into a gym and there's literally 20, 30, 17-year-olds, and they're all fucking like lifting properly. They're in the gym lifting. Little 16-year-olds, little 17-year-olds, and these anime profile picture motherfuckers are here saying, oh, well, Hamza.
Okay, before I end, it's funny. I see a lot of 20, 19, 21-year-olds at the gym lifting in anime gear, like anime tank tops, anime shorts. Big guys. Seems like they got their stuff together, properly groomed, behave, proper posture. So it goes both ways.
Won't let us have fun. How does a 16-year-old boy have more discipline than you? Anime profile picture motherfuckers. How are like grown-ass men here talking about like, oh, but Hamza, Super Smash Bros, Hamza, aren't you gonna play Elden Ring, Hamza? What about 1 hour of it? Shut up. I know I seem like an asshole for this, because you're allowed to like do what you want, and oh, here's this judgmental guy, he's being a bit aggressive.
Have you guys been on Instagram? Like, I tried to limit Instagram, but when I was first watching reels, pretty much every other reel that I've seen is like an anime and then a person in the gym transforming themselves. Just letting you know, that's what I've seen. I don't watch too much Instagram reels now, but that's what I saw.
But fuck, man. When you've been on the other side of this and you've seen the consequences of what happens to men when they make the wrong choices and they end up with fucking mental illnesses and they end up hating their lives. This is why I get so emotional and so serious.
I think that's very true what he said. Also, one big factor that plays into it is not being in a community. Basically being a loner. Like Taxi Driver, a movie on Netflix that you can watch, is a good demonstration of that. What happens to a man when he isolates himself. Look, it's good to have that Sigma male grind set phase where you just like shut people out, become a ghost, and then come back and then become this changed man with proper work ethic. But you also have to have a balance of environment of people around you that you can talk to, because I'm telling you, I've been there as well. Like I become a very toxic person because I isolated myself for a really long time. Especially moving around from town to town a lot. It's very difficult to make friends, so you tend to isolate yourself. And that's how I ended up being on this YouTube, internet, like person, like plugged in.
Serious about this shit, because I've seen the other side. All of these guys, all these little anime profile pictures, they haven't seen the consequences of their actions just yet. They think it's normal to live a life of loneliness. They think it's normal to live a life of like poor health and negative thoughts. They think that's normal because that's all they've ever experienced. I've experienced both sides to life, right? This is the thing about, you're hearing from this guy who's ranting about like anime and video games and porn and drugs and partying and stuff. You're not hearing this from some like random imam or some priest who's never experienced these things. You're hearing these words from a guy who has totally indulged in the things that you're addicted to. If you're watching this video right now and you're addicted to video games, you're addicted to porn, you're addicted to drugs, you're watching bullshit media, entertainments. When you watch me criticize those things, it seems so easy to say, oh, well, he's not having fun, bro. I was doing those things more than you could imagine. I've experienced both sides to life now. I've totally indulged in the instant gratification activities, and I've totally indulged or just committed and disciplined myself to the delayed gratification activities. And I'm telling you right now, as a man who's experienced both sides to life, I'm telling you, there isn't many of us. You have not met many men who've experienced both sides. Usually it's just the guy who's a fucking total loser for all of his life, or the guy who's just pretty much always had that positive feedback loop. He's always been pretty productive and everything.
So he did say he indulged in it, and that's why I think he's very passionate about it, because he's seen the darker end of things. And now he wants to speak out against it. So I understand.
See in front of you is a rare opportunity to see both. You're hearing the words of a man who's experienced both sides of life. You don't even know what life can be like. All these guys, look at them just spamming. Oh, this isn't a good look, Hamza. This isn't a good look, Hamza. Oh, Hamza. Oh, watch out, Hamza. Anime's okay. Moderation is key.
He does have a point. I remember when I'm in a good group of people and I have intellectual conversations and we have fun as a group, my energy naturally goes up. Even if I had 4 or 5 hours of sleep the night before, I get into a group of people and then we talk, we joke around. I go to the gym. I feel more energized. I'm ready to tackle the day. And I think that energy will translate into productivity. He makes a good point.
Go fuck yourself. Moderation is key. I'm tired of that fucking weak mantra. This Jeffrey propaganda that all these motherfuckers who criticize me is like, oh, but Hamza doesn't understand that balance is key. Shut up. Balance is key. Shut up. Stop being a coward. Oh, but Hamza, moderation and everything in balance. Just shut up. You can't use like this fucking, oh, but you know, I'm sophisticated, I'm intellectual because balance is key, Hamza. Shut up. Never ever push towards something that is inherently bad for you. And if you don't believe something like anime and video games is,
Yeah, good argument. You know, balance. Blah, blah. I see what he's saying, but again, you have to understand, anime is a media. Somebody takes an idea and puts it in written format. You don't know how it's going to inspire somebody. You don't know. Next, I don't know, Elon could be an anime watcher that gets an idea from somebody and makes something great. I'll give you an example. I Robot was written in like I think 1970s, and this book to this day influencing how AI is being developed, right? And there are a lot of those type of concepts can be seen in anime and manga as well.
bad for you. Your mind is literally so fucked up. You've got Stockholm syndrome. Honestly, all of these guys defending, video games, all of these guys defending anime, literally have like symptoms of Stockholm syndrome. They're like, no, not my abuser, not my abuser. He's really nice. He takes.
Okay, I know I just cited a book, but a good example of an anime that taught me a lot is Monster. It's manga and anime too. I learned more about the World War history and geography of Europe in that than in my entire history class, because a lot of the cities and a lot of geographical locations are pretty accurate.
Care of me, daddy. How do you sit there and mouth read and watch anime? If you're gonna watch stuff, okay, you know, educational material is fantastic. Let's grow as men. But if you're broke right now, shut the fuck up about anime. Honestly, like I need to be a little bit more aggressive. If you're broke right now, if you're not successful, if you don't like your life, if you're not healthy, if you've got less than like a few £1,000s equivalent in your bank account, then shut up, bro. What are you talking about? Like, oh, 1 hour a day, Hamza. Shut up. You don't have that 1 hour to waste. And these guys, oh, you'll end up alone and without friends if you don't know how to have fun with others. This guy thinks that having fun with others is him and his little virgin friend sat there mouth breathing. This is a good episode of Rick and Morty. How is that having fun with others? These guys literally, they say this shit to me all the time. Oh, but Hamza would struggle to make friends because he doesn't watch the newest movies. You're telling me that the only friends you have are those guys that you discuss movies and anime and video games with. So not only do we know that you're a loser, but of course, obviously, we know that the people you're hanging out with is losers.
Oops, I had the mic muted. So very interesting take. I agree with a lot what he says. I just think he's a little too extreme. I know I sound like a wimp, but bottom line is I think you can get a lot from anime if you watch the proper anime, of course, because I think he's underestimating how smart and talented those writers and creators and authors are that write those stories. But anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know.